In this video, I want to talk about how to find a polynomial of a given degree with given zeros. So first, let's talk about what a polynomial is. So a polynomial is a function that's of the form, and I'm not going to do this too formally, but basically it's anything multiplied by x to powers. So like negative 3x to the 4th plus 2x squared minus 6x minus 12. That's an example of a polynomial. Anything that's made up of powers of x, any function that's made up of any powers of x. So one cool thing about polynomials is that you can always factor them out. So a polynomial can also be written as some constant number times x minus a, which would be one of its factors, x minus b, the next factor, and so on, all the way to x minus n, whatever factor we go up to. And you can always write a polynomial of this form. Now, it's true that if you do that, some of these factors might be complex numbers. So we're actually going to avoid those and we're going to stick with real zeros or with real factors, but they could be complex numbers. So in any case, any polynomial can be written in this form. And so this is very convenient because this is an easy format to work with. And one more thing about polynomials I want to talk about is their degree. So the degree of a polynomial is just the highest power of x. So the degree is just the highest power of x. So in this case, it would be degree 4. So in this example, it's degree 4. If it has n factors, then its degree is n, because if we multiply all those x's together, that first term will have x to the nth power, however many factors that is. So the degree is just your highest power of x, and it also tells you it's also the number of factors that you have. Okay. So now we want to do this task. It says find a polynomial that has degree 3 and zeros 1 with a multiplicity of 2 and negative 2. So what does this multiplicity of 2 mean? It just means that that factor is represented twice. So there's two terms with the same factor. So let's go ahead and see if we can write this out. So f of x needs to have factors, so it has degree 3, which means it has 3 factors, and then we have 1, which is represented twice, so x minus 1 is represented twice. Remember that the zeros are going to be the opposite of what you see in the factor, so a 0 of 1 gives us an x minus 1, because that means that x equals 1 would make the whole thing equal to 0. That's what a 0 is. Okay, so x minus 1 is represented twice, and then x minus 2 is also represented. So you could also put any number you want in front of here if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and write a 5, but it doesn't matter. Any number you want could be listed here. So f of x can also be written as 5 times x minus 1 squared times x minus 2. And that would be a sort of a shorter version way to write this. Now you could also multiply this out, but it's not necessary, and I wouldn't recommend it. So that is how we find a polynomial of a given degree with given zeros. So remember that a polynomial is just a number of x2 powers added together. And then when you can always factor this, although sometimes it might give you some complex numbers here, but you can always factor it into its different terms, which give us the zeros. And the zeros in this case are going to be a, b, and so on up through n. And so all of those can be factored out into their zeros, and the degree is the highest power of x, the number of factors. So here we have 3 factors, even though one of them is represented twice. We still have 3 factors, and those 3 factors give us a multiplicity of 3. Now if we multiplied this all out, that first term would be x to the third, because it would be x squared times x, so it would be x to the third. And so that's how you do it. That's how you find a polynomial of a given degree with given zeros.